Okay, day 132. I'm kind of morphing this a little bit to Hillary's hackers. Nothing like having the President of the United States come out and agree with you after 132 days that, hey, I was being hacked by Hillary. I think he's going to realize as the paperwork comes out on the October 20th FISA court that you have to order it from the FBI and the DOJ approves it, and that Obama really wasn't involved. But I'll let that play itself out. So this, I'm going to dedicate this short movie to the press secretary. So please send it at press secretary to Sean Spicer and Kellyanne Conway. So it's at Kellyanne and then Polls. So in the series, I show how these four Awan brothers and two of their wives were involved in hacking on three of our most sensitive House committees. And I show how that information, if leaked to the Muslim Brotherhood overseas, or for deals, economic deals like leaked to Russia, could compromise the president. And I call it Spies, Brotherhoods, Rat Lines, and Wiretaps. So I've been running this series for about 132 days, and I wanted to show the White House staff now how this actually started. We had a COINTELPRO kind of spying program and a wiretap program with the FBI before Bill and Hillary Clinton. But when Bill reacted, when he said, "I did not sleep with that woman, Monica Lewinsky," in January of 1998, later that year he signed something called Presidential Decision Directive 62, and you can look this one up, White House staff, basically directed for a disruption campaign against their enemies. So initially this was going to be enemies of the impeachment, like Dennis Hastert and Newt Gingrich. But it instructed the CIA to meet with the FBI to come up with these kind of disruption techniques. A lot of the disruption techniques came from the Phoenix program that the CIA ran in Vietnam. But the key part here was there was a lot of FBI whistleblowers, many whistleblowers. And one of the key ones was Sibel Edmonds in the Washington, D.C. office of the FBI, where Andrew McCabe worked. And he is the one who ordered those FBI wiretaps on many different political opponents of Hillary Clinton, not just Dennis Hastert and not just Newt Gingrich. So anyway, the latest incarnation, basically that wiretapping just got worse and worse, and the list of enemies just expanded. Now it's to the large deplorables list. But now you can see that there are people that are acting as surrogates for Hillary, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who've placed these four Pakistani nationals into the 31 House Democrats' offices that are all on key committees. So just recently, after we had the death of the Navy SEAL, we had 20 burglaries in those offices, and I asked this morning if there's cameras of those burglaries. I talked about a previous FBI case where it was just one person with one thumb drive trying to get public information, a guy named Aaron Schwartz. Now the FBI was threatening him with 50 years in prison. Why aren't the four Awan brothers and at least the four Awan brothers, even under investigation? You're going to find also I talked about Kisilak and that the meetings here, there's going to be 6 White House meetings with Kisilak during the Hillary's uranium meetings. So I asked earlier this morning, is it not time for the Democrats to start all over again with somebody like a Tulsi Gabbard and clean house on some of these older people that are Hillary apparatchiks? So a couple of the representatives I've called out is Andre Carson, who sits on the Emerging Threats Committee, and he also sits on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. I talked to Tulsi Gabbard, who's on the Foreign Affairs Committee as well. Again, getting to the bottom of these 20 congressional break-ins, the Capitol Police is involved, but the FBI doesn't seem to be involved. Now, if the FBI is going to be involved in Aaron Schwartz taking public domain information, they certainly would be involved in these brothers having a private server, just like Huma had a private server and just like Hillary had a private server, and gleaning information from these server farms in these 3 key congressional committees. So I said this morning, let's look at the phone records, let's look at the server logs, because all that sort of thing has to be recorded. As I mentioned before, they threatened Aaron Schwartz with 50 years imprisonment by the FBI, and they had a lot of agents on it. But here, these congressional aides that I spoke of, these Awan brothers, were connected to a Hezbollah fugitive. And he's a doctor, he did $2.3 million in fake billings. He's had his license suspended and revoked. He's a known he's a known contact with Hezbollah, I guess. So Jackie Spear was the rep that asked for the 5 top secret clearances for these Awan brothers. Again, all this information would be logged. It seems like the FBI should be investigating this and not wiretapping Trump and Trump Tower. Again, Schwartz was just downloading public domain info when he was arrested and threatened with 50 years. He eventually committed suicide looking at the rest of his life being ruined. So I pulled the congressional records of these 3 Awan brothers. There are their names: Abed, Imran, and Jawan. They were all making from 2.5 times the salary of the median salary of a congressional staffer up to 3.1 times. Okay? So just to give you an idea here, you can freeze frame and see the reps that they work for or have worked for. I also talked to them about being go-betweens. They had 2 kind of shady used car businesses as well that you can look into more in the notes below. I won't spend much time talking about that here. I'll just follow up by saying these are the 650,000 emails that I'm referring to here on Huma's server. There's 19 Gmail accounts. I'm recommending the FBI to show goodwill, publish the metadata, the to, from, where, regarding, and date, just so the FBI can come clean and see if there's any connection between these servers and these 19 Gmail accounts and the people and that stolen information from those 3 key subcommittees. Because if there is email linkage between these 2, then we have to open up this email here to complete the investigation. As you know, Andrew McCabe is in charge of the Huma server, the Hillary server, and now the Awan server. All of those, he would need to definitely recuse himself in that case and allow a special prosecutor to come in and prosecute the case. Thank you very much, Kellyanne, and thank you, Sean.